ask me about the scholarship of teaching and learning, I would say SOTL occurs when a teacher seeks to understand the teaching and learning which occurs in his or her classroom by identifying a question, using the literature to understand the work that has already been undertaken to answer the question. The teacher studies the question using research-based methodology for data collection and analysis. And finally, the teacher shares the results of this undertaking through peer review and publication. McKinney defines SOTL as the systematic reflection or study of teaching and learning made public. SOTL immediately made me think of action research. AR uses traditional research approaches to address real issues faced by educators with the goal of bringing about change by modifying and improving some aspect of classroom practice. Efron and Ravid succinctly describe AR, saying the emphasis is on finding out what works and acting upon it. Although AR is typically practical rather than theoretical, it's grounded in the literature and it's theory informed, and its results are shared in the same manner as traditional research. I decided to look at the key similarities and differences between SOTL and AR in terms of the structure of traditional research. In terms of identifying a research question, SOTL and AR are very similar. In both cases, the question is situated in classroom practice with the intent of improving teaching and or student outcomes. For SOTL, it's within the researcher's classroom. However, for a researcher conducting AR, it might be within their own classroom, a colleague's classroom, or a teacher's classroom that is also a stakeholder in the outcome of the research. Both SOTL and AR begin with literature review to determine previous research on the subject and gaps in the literature. So in both cases, the process is research-based and theory-informed. In both SOTL and AR, a variety of research methods can be employed, including qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods research. Data collection and analysis are conducted based on the selected methodology. As far as methodology is concerned, the primary difference I see is that AR is intended to be an iterative process with changes made until a solution to the problem is found. The results of AR and SOTL are both intended to be shared so that the findings can be utilized by other researchers and practitioners who are seeking to solve similar problems. The results of both should be peer-reviewed and considered for publication to advance understanding of the subject under study and to help close gaps in the literature. An important similarity I see between AR and SOTL is the lack of acceptance of these research practices within the research community. SOTL is definitely the newcomer to this struggle, but AR has been around since the 1940s and still is not readily accepted. In the same way SOTL is not always accepted as evidence for research for consideration of tenure, there are many who would say action research is not rigorous and therefore not real research. Part of this argument is based on the context of the research, which is similar for AR and SOTL. Many say that because the research is conducted within classrooms, the results can't be generalized beyond the context of the research. SOTL is less likely to have this criticism as researchers are encouraged to conduct SOTL research across classrooms and even across disciplines. A difference I see between the two is that AR is more inclusive of classrooms at all levels, while SOTL appears to be focused on higher education. My guess is that they are both primarily practiced by researchers in higher education, but the classroom setting selected for research is more likely to be K-12 for action research and higher ed for SOTL. The strength of both AR and SOTL is that they serve as ongoing teacher professional development that results in improvements in teaching practices and in student learning. Thank you for listening, and here are my references.